Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Friday, April the 9th. The year's 2021. Let's talk trading. Schizophrenic trading, part 2 with Walmal. And just like yesterday, this video is for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and from Walmal's. I was talking with Walmal earlier today, and I kind of had I don't know, an aha moment or something when we were trading, and it's like, wait a minute, that's not my trade. Why am I getting upset because I could have made a bucket of pips when it wasn't my trade? And I tell Walmart, it's real interesting. If you're at the bus stop and you want to take, the bus to the blue station, and then the bus comes along, but it says green station, do you get on the bus? It's like, of course not, because you want to go to the blue station. Why would you get on the wrong bus? Well, it's kind of the same thing in trading. If it's not your trade, you don't care where it goes. It wasn't your trade. And that's part of the thing where the brain management part of trading comes in. Because you're creating something in your head that's only going to, mess you up. Because you have a trade, and you have a trading plan, and you have your entry trigger. And if that doesn't come up, then it doesn't matter what price does. That's not your trade. So don't beat yourself up because you didn't get in that, because what that'll do is that will lead to more schizophrenic trading, because now you'll be breaking your trading plan. And what was really funny about today was I got out 4 times with like a pip or less. And each time price reversed, and I'm like, I'm glad I got out. As opposed to, oh man, I wish I stayed in. But I was following my plan. And the one time I didn't get out and take my .2 pips or whatever it was, I got to experience a big drawdown and price came back. But then again, I will out myself because I had called 3737 H4 pivot point to be hit, and I didn't wait for that to happen. And like I said, I was surprised Walmart didn't call me out on it yesterday, because I did the exact same thing yesterday.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we all do that. I don't like calling people out on that only because, you know what? I do the same thing over and over again. That's just what we do sometimes, In fact, I was in at that double O where you were in as well. And, I knew that pivot point was there. You pointed it out. You said it on the phone. It was clear. And I really didn't have a real good reason to get out of the trade. I think I picked up 7 pips on that trade or something like that, But the thing is, we do that, we're human, we're fallible, that's just reality. But, going back to this idea, I think we spoke about it yesterday, don't beat yourself up. There'll be another trade that comes down the pipe, as long as you go and stick to your trading plan. And what that means is you don't over leverage yourself, you don't put yourself in a position that you're going to wipe your account out. Doesn't matter, so you missed it. So what? And it's funny because I've been playing with something today a little bit different than I normally do. And it's mainly because what I've been seeing the market do today. And the market was like this yesterday. In fact, there was a trader talking about this on Facebook yesterday where he was struggling a little bit with the Walmal method yesterday. And I think he said that he didn't take one trade, and he's glad he didn't, because it would have actually put him down like minus 13 or minus 23 pips. I don't recall it exactly. And yeah, he's right, because yesterday was a little bit difficult for the Walmal method. But, I made my money on the Walmal method, just so it took a little bit longer time. And one of the things I did today, before we started getting some of these better moves that occurred later in the morning, was that as soon as the market stopped, and I had some pips, on the table to take, I just took it. In fact, I think I told you, TRO, that at one point in time, I had taken 6 trades where I only got, 1 pip each, and it's like, or I think actually it wasn't even that good. I think I took 6 trades and I got maybe 4.5 pips on all of them put together and didn't have any losses on it. But because of that, that was just a situation. And I went back and looked, and if I had stayed in those trades, I could have been down 20 or something pips easily. But because of the way the market's moving today, I said, you know what, I'm just not going to do it. As soon as I see that thing stop, as soon as I go and see that there's going to be any type of trouble, get out. And I think that's, I kind of violated trading plan a little bit because I didn't go and wait and do 10-5-1 and so on and so forth. But here's the reality. I also see what the buses are doing today. And if the buses are having some mechanical problems, you know what? Either A, don't get on the bus, or B, ride the bus until it stops moving, get off the bus and walk the rest of the way. And that's kind of what I did.
I like that. Don't get on the bus because there's mechanical problems.
Well, it's true, though. It's the type of thing where, you look at the charts, and if you're trading Walmal method, and you see that, hey, it's only getting above the line by only 1 or 2 or 3 pips. Why are you trying to go and try 10 pips or whatever? Don't do it. Just, take the 1 pip or the 3 pip, or just don't get on. Don't take the ride. Come back and trade tomorrow. Wait for the market to go and, and to go and do what it normally does. And part of that, I'm going to be honest with the traders out there. Part of that recognition is seat time. I do not believe in this idea, and I know there's lots of methods out there that you can go and buy for $29.99. But the thing is, I really don't believe in this idea that set and forget. And I have one trade that I do that, but most of the time it does work. But it's more times than not, you really can't do that. It just doesn't work out that well. And so how do you know not to get into the trade? How do you know that it's time to get out of the trade? Well, it's seat time. It's sitting there watching the market and knowing what it does. And it's sort of like, and I think everybody out there knows my preference. I always trade the pound dollar. Every once in a while I'll trade the dollar yen, but for the euro dollar, but for the most part, 99% of my trades is just pound dollar. And the reason why is because if it's hiccuping today, I know I can watch it for 15 minutes to a half hour, and I know that pound is moving in the way it's supposed to be moving. And I don't mean moving up or moving down. What I mean by that is it's moving in a way that is normal for the pound to move. Now, yes, the pound does jump back and forth, and that's normal for the pound. But how does it do the jumping back and forth? And part of it is, how can I describe that for you? No, I think that's an observational thing where you have to sit down and just have the hours of screen time of just knowing it and saying, hey, this is what it, how many times I say it to you, TRO, on calls where I say, hey, we're at this level right now. The pound's going to go here, and then it's going to reverse off of that and go there. How many times do I say that to you during the day? And it does it. Does it do it every time? No, but it does it a tremendous number of times. I'll put myself on the spot. You answer that question.
Yeah. Well, we're both pretty good at that. It's but a lot of times it's like that one joke, that I say I should just wait it. Once I decide to enter a trade, I should take that time or do it an hour later, because a lot of times it'll reverse on me, and then I'll be underwater. And if I just waited an hour, then it's I wouldn't have gone through all that pain and suffering. But,
right.
Getting back to the schizophrenia thing, the other part of it is that when you enter a trade, if you don't have a purpose in mind, that's another way you might beat yourself up. Like today, you told me, I'm just going for a pip. You got your pip. But if you get in a trade and then you take your pip, I could have had 5. Once again, what did we say? A pip in the hand's worth 1,000 and 1,000 on the chart or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, you just have to look at what you did. Did you follow your plan, and really not care about what you could have had, because that's that old woulda, coulda, shoulda. And it's just like, hey, if you got a pip, you got a pip. You've got 1 pip more than you had before the trade. And, that's the name of the game is making money, making pips here. And it's not necessarily, catching, all those long runs. Because on the other hand, you think you missed out, but it's real hard to remember, or it's easy to forget those times where you got out, it reversed on you, and you're happy. Like I said today, that happened, what, 3 or 4 times for me.
Yeah, and that's part of trading, And it's sort of like even that trade that you referred to with me, it was the type of thing where, I think you actually said to me at the beginning, why would you go and take a trade where you're only going to make a pip? And I said, well, I've seen it do it 3, 4, 5 times, and it just was an easy pip to get. And so what I did was I went into the trade, I took the trade, it got up to I think I got a pip and a half on it, and then price stopped moving in my direction. And I said, you know what? I got a pip and a half. There's obviously some type of ceiling here that it doesn't want to get through, or it's going to have a lot of trouble getting through. And I said, taking my pip and a half, and I just took my pip and a half and got off the table. And it turned out that it did go down a little bit. Maybe it went down a pip or two, and then turned around and rocketed through. Now, in hindsight, you would say, well, look at all those pips I went and left. I could have had all those pips. No, because that wasn't my plan for that trade. My plan for that trade was look at the chart, look to the left. Aha, every time it gets to this level, it shoots up for a pip or two. You know what? Why don't I go and take advantage of it? Why don't I take that pip? But as soon as it gets to that level, it doesn't blast through that level, get out, because that probably means it's going to go back out. Then it come back down the other way. So that's what I did. And I think that's part of, that observational thing and having that seat time, knowing what bus to get on and knowing when to get off the bus.
Exactly. Yeah, because I just switched to the 1 minute chart with the Walmal template or PA simple template here. And you can see how many times prices crisscross that 30. It went up through it. Now it's just come back down. So, that's a trade, but what's it going to give you? 2, 3 pips?
Right.
Some people might poo-poo it, and other people, it's like, hey, that's their bread and butter,
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, like I was just alluding to before, in that particular situation, yeah, my method is 10-5-1, but if it's just not working today, or I see that the market's just not working that well, working in that direction, well, maybe I change it up and say, you know what, I'm not going to do 10-5-1 today. I'm going to go and just try to get 2-3 pips every trade. And if you would have done that this hour, you could have made a killing because, well, actually the last hour, and this hour, between those 2 hours, you easily, my core being 10 pips, you easily could have gotten to 10 pips.
Right.
Just hit it, and that's what you sometimes and some days do. And, we got to remember this is trading. And that means that there are active people out there who are taking trades in both directions. There are institutions taking trades in both directions, which is what the market is. So what is price going to do? It's going to go up and it's going to go down. And sometimes it gets stuck in a range where it's not going to go and just rocket to the sky.
Yeah.
It's great when it does that. Everybody can make money then. But, the thing is, sometimes you just got to say, you know what, I'm not going to trade today. And to be honest with you, if you're a new trader, that would be my recommendation.
Yeah.
Maybe on that day, just paper trade it.
Yeah, I just switched over to the imbalance order block chart that I have here, and price just came down into a bullish imbalance area, and then it just went right through that bearish and wiped out an imbalance right here. And then I've got the multimeters up for the imbalance zone and the order block zone. And one thing I did today was I had taken a trade, and I believe it, let's see, on H1, but I think that order block has been taken out. There was an order block on H1. Oh, I'm sorry, an imbalance zone, but you can see the same thing happen here. Price came down and it put in this imbalance area. You see it came up here, maybe a little bit more than halfway and shot out. Then it came up here, which is about halfway, and shot out. And what I've learned is if you're in a red imbalance zone, you probably don't want to go long unless it's escaping to the upside, and the reverse for the short. But you know what, fellow traders, the fastest 15 minutes in trading is up once again. So I hope you guys and gals and non-binaries aren't doing anything schizophrenic. And I'll put out another video, the weekly wrap up, in a little bit. So just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. And if you haven't subscribed, hit like and hit the bell to be notified when I put out a video. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.